Hello everyone, it's another superlicious day. That's another lame joke. Sorry. Anyways, this is how this thing came out of the box, just loosely in this bag. I haven't looked at it any more than this, so let's take a look here. So I've done a couple of videos on this Toyota Supra now, so I'm not going to talk about the car. But this is made by Ignition Model, and this is only my second one from this brand. I've collected over 600, maybe 700 models before I bought my second one of Ignition. And I'll talk about that later. Let's see here. So this is general information, what we have. I don't think it's actually licensed. Unless it's written in Japanese or something, but this might be I don't understand that. I would have to assume this is licensed because Ignition is around for a long time. They make larger scale models, by the way. So, well, anyways, let's take a look. Alright, so pretty decent tightness on the crystal case here. Oh, but it's actually quite loose when I actually remove it, so this is probably not a good idea. Okay, I always like to test that out. Got some cat hairs in my nose today, so I apologize. Let's take a look. I don't see any tow hooks or antenna that could break off easily, so we're going to take this one off the stand today. But I'll probably put it back on after this review because the fingerprints are going to get all over this thing. Ignition does this limited production thing. What those people consider limited and other people, who knows. This is a nice nameplate, you know, it's a photo etched piece of metal. You can see they etched away everything around this Ignition model. And then they also filled in this section with black, so it's a really cool nameplate. Alright. So this is a Ridox body kit, and that's what I believe these guys were going for. As you can see, if I focus on the model, it's got the canard there, it's got this thing here, these little fake vents, and then it's got the grafted on rear over fender as well. So yes, I think they modeled this after the Ridox kit. Here's the rear view. You can see the over fender. It actually comes around to the back. And did Ignition get it? Yes, Ignition did get it. You can see the little rivet marks there. They even put on this giant can. And then, well, who knows? You know, this guy maybe added these things here that might not be standard on the Ridox kit. Okay. And then I do find that not everyone buys this hood from Ridox either, but Ignition modeled the hood also. Right, so you got a big radiator vent here and then two additional vents there. Okay, so I would say that this is quite accurate to the Ridox body kit. I believe these are resin models. I might be mistaken, but just based on the price, I have a suspicion this is made of plastic, this body, and not die-cast. Okay. So we have a gold, obviously. I like gold. And there we go. The speckling is, I don't know if you consider it big or not. It looks pretty big on the camera screen, but to my own eyes, it just seems like a nice metallic gold. Alright. So this seems to be a separate black plastic piece. So that's alright, I guess. You can see there's actually like air behind there. My pick just vanishes back there. Yeah, so this little black plastic piece is just glued onto this gold body. You can see the edge of the body there. But that's how it is on the real car, so I guess that's quite accurate. I like how Ignition added some black paint here. I know other brands would skip that effort. It's nice to see these little marks here for the body screws. This reflector is just painted on, that as well. But this one has a bump as well as the silver. The wheels, these BBS style wheels, look pretty good. You know, it's a chromed rim. And then the black spokes are nicely painted. Like, you don't see any extra chrome right around where the edges are, which you see on other models. So the application of the black paint on this wheel is some of the best I've seen. Okay, very reflective chrome rim. Side blocks, they don't look too bad. They don't look like they're truck tires, but you can definitely see there are some side blocks there, which if we carry over to the bottom, those treads do look nice. So this is the first time I've actually looked at the bottom of ignition, because it's only my second one and I never took the skyline off the base. So there's one screw holding it together, so you can, open it up and customize it if you want to. It's nice to see this exhaust is a separate piece. It is a little weird that the can doesn't actually match this pipe, but it's nice. It's a separate piece, it seems. And then rolling wise, no, it doesn't want to roll. I think this friction here, right here with the tire and the fender, so you can physically move it with your fingers, but it's not going to roll like a Hot Wheels. But seriously, guys, I mean, are you going to roll this down a Hot Wheels track? And then, can you really roll a car easily in real life? There's a lot of friction with the 2 tons of metal sitting on a surface. So this actually is kind of realistic, because you can roll it, but it takes a lot of effort, just like a real car. Alright. The door handle here seems to be sticking out, and yeah, that's accurate to the real car. Panel gaps are okay. The window's got a tiny bit of black trimming there, painted. Looks good. Separate plastic mirrors, and they have... is it reflector or paint? That's what I'm wondering. I think it's just silver paint. Other brands would have a reflector, but at least it's got silver paint, and it's painted nicely, so I'm okay with that. Let's go around to the front here. This canard here seems to be a separate black piece. Alright, lost focus. These little turn signals are just painted on. Same with this vent here. And this one is not painted really well. You can see the gold shining through right there. This side's better. Okay, so the headlights have clear lenses, and then there's light buckets back behind there. You can see like a projector or 2 or 3. Looks like there's 3 light bulbs back there. Interesting. A little ledge here for the license plate. Okay, and then we have an intercooler with some ribbing. The question is, behind that, is there anything like the radiator? I don't know. Well, anyways, I think it's just open air, because this pick is just getting eaten up by that vent. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So I just kind of feel like it would have been nice if this was more open. But, or could there have, I don't know, maybe the real cars don't have a grill there. I don't think they do. So I guess that's, well, I don't know. I mean, if you could have this open, why couldn't you have that open? Alright. We have some black here for the chin spoiler. Seems to be pretty nice. It's a nice thin chin lip there. Sorry, I keep losing focus here. This doesn't look very nice underneath. What's going on under the paint here? You know, this roughness here? Like that's not very good. This transitions nicely. This is just flat black. This is a little recessed in flat black. The wiper blades here, they're raised and they're painted black, and there's ribbing here. And then there's a little black paint on, I think, the back side of the windshield. I don't know. Maybe there's no black paint at all. It might be an illusion. Yeah, I'm just looking at off screen here. Yeah, I don't think there's black paint on the top area. I don't know. I can see it in the camera. I can see like an outline there, but I can't see it with the naked eye. I think it might be the molding of the plastic is creating a fake edge. It's quite interesting. Alright. So this wing is very nice. It's plastic, and it's got some intricate detail, you know, tiny little 2 edges right here on the back. It's flat, a ledge, and then the tip. So it's thin plastic. Yeah, it's very nice. Okay. So now here we got the Toyota logo printed on. These taillights are quite awesome. I mean, first it's a clear lens, but behind that clear lens, it looks like, I don't know, it might be other pieces of plastic back there, or paint. But you can see 4 circles, and then the 2 middle ones are red. So I don't know if There's red paint or red plastic in behind this clear plastic. I have a suspicion these two circles might actually be plastic going into the casting itself to secure it. I just don't know how they got the red in there. Okay, it's nice to see something on the license plate, you know, Supra in this case, looks good. And then here's that exhaust tip again, and it's dimensional, right? There's some depth there in the middle, and it's got, I think, some black paint in there. Yeah, there's black paint in there as well, so look at the nice thin silver rim. Very good. There's a little third brake light here printed, and now I'm noticing there's a Supra printed right there. So that's nice. Okay, so let's see about this interior. Well, actually, before that, see, it looks like there's a little black molding here on the window. Oh, that actually is there. It's like a raised part of the plastic molding, and then it's painted black on the outside. So the inside here, there's a lot of details there in the back ledge. I'm gonna have to get the flashlight. So hard. It's almost like I have to make a fixture to hold a car and the flashlight at one time, because I need the other hand to hit the focus button and to zoom in. Well, the seat has a little bit of a texture on there. Let's go try the other side. See if there's anything in an instrument cluster. Well, I can't go any more. This is 4 times magnification. I'm not seeing any additional color in the instrument cluster, but I do see that they're molded, right? You can see little circles molded into the dashboard there. And then the steering wheel is nicely molded. It looks like an aftermarket steering wheel, you know, with the 6 bolts in the middle. That would never come from Toyota. Stick shift there, a little bit of an e-brake handle, and what looks like a ashtray or something, an ashtray cover. But no seat belts. There's no additional color inside of this thing. It's just all black like a Kyosho blister pack. So that's pretty lazy. You know, for the price of this model, there should be some sort of color in there, like the instrument cluster, or maybe some decals for seat harnesses. Alright, is there even a rear view mirror? Okay, there is a rear view mirror hanging, so that's good. And it looks like there's a roll bar back there behind the seats. Yeah, it's just black and all, but okay. Yeah, there's a cross brace there. Okay, well, actually, back to these brakes. Where are the calipers? Are they a different color, I wonder, the brake calipers? No, I don't think so. I can see the caliper right there on the left side, but I think it's almost the same color as the rotor. What about the back here? I think the caliper, again, is on the left side. Yeah, you can see it. It's nicely detailed. You can see, like, indications of the hydraulic fluid, you know, hoses there. But I think it's the same silver as the rotor, so it's not as obvious, you know. It would have been cool if it was, like, painted red or yellow or something. Let's compare it to a couple other 164s. Let me get the rotator out. Oh, I did a video on this guy. This is by Tarmac Works Hobby, and frankly, it's not a good model for unless you can get it for like $10 or something. It's just, it has quality. The wheels were worthless. They were all gouged up, and then the graphics is just weird. Granted, I can't blame Tarmac Works for the Blitz graphics, but I can blame Tarmac Works for the fact that this casting doesn't actually look like the real race car. This is like the road street car, and they put a racing car's graphics on it. Anyways, that's that one. This next one is by Aoshima, and this has got a crazier set of graphics, cartoons, Itashes. Now this one I believe is supposed to have the Radox kit on it as well, but it doesn't have the hood. So the hood on this one is just a normal Supra hood. It doesn't have the vents. But everything else looks like it's there, just not as well detailed. But I have a suspicion this thing cost less than $10 when it was brand new. Maybe $6. So I think for its time and its price, it's actually pretty good. The last one I'm going to just put out here is by Hobby Japan. It's the GR Supra. and it's got a cool matte finish gray. I apologize for the wobbliness of this display. I cannot smooth it out. I let it run for like 2 days straight thinking it would smooth out, but it won't. I've opened it up. I see no way to make it not vibrate. So you're gonna have to deal with it. Essentially that GR Supra is just having some spasms. I had too much coffee this morning. Alright, so here's a top view, guys, if you wanna let's try to line these up closer. So it's in the Aoshima is quite wide. It's probably the least accurate in scale, if I had to guess. But I think the other two look pretty normal. I mean, this is a stock road car, and then this is a road car with a wide body kit, so it makes sense as to why it looks wider. Oh, boy, allergies. Okay. So, I mentioned before why I don't buy ignition models is because the price. I think this was like $35 delivered, but I do see these things going for like 35 to 40 bucks, I think, usually. And for something with molded windows, I find that unacceptable. I also find that on the other ones that they make, they have painted on turn signals. Actually, this has painted on turn signals as well. But for $35, you can get into resin models that have sheet windows. This I keep on bringing up in my videos because I paid less. I think this was the $35 delivered. It's made by JEC, this Jaguar. These windows are made of sheet plastic. There's, you can watch television through this car if you wanted to. And then on top of that sheet plastic, they have metal molding, right? Just like a real car would have had. This is metal right here, this shiny part, right? And they have the sheet plastic with the blackout printed on it. Then this thing has separate metal windshield wiper blades. The turn signals on this are clear plastic, right? I mean, this one, for instance, has 3 pieces of clear plastic inside of this chrome housing. And then look at this interior. That's not plain black. This interior is just fantastic. It's got silver, black details on the dashboard. Look at all those controls on the dash. These rub strips inside, I think, are made of metal, right? So for the same price, you can get this Jaguar. And look at the wheels on this thing. They're actually 3-dimensional. They're like photo-etched metal spokes or something. So that's why I don't buy ignition models. Once you get past $35, you can get resin models with superior quality. As I mentioned, I do think this might be made of resin, but it's got qualities of a diecast. The molded windows, that's a diecast quality. The mirrors that just have silver paint, that's a diecast quality. Even Inno64 has foil stickers for their mirrors, so they literally reflect things. And then Inno64 would have color on the interior as well. So that's where this brand falls down. It's clearly, I think, the best Supra in 1/64 scale. It's just that the pricing of this model, come on, man. I mean, look at this. This thing is just magnitudes better as far as the amount of parts, the amount of effort, the amount of execution. This thing is in a next level. This is closer to a TLV than a real resin, in my opinion. So that's my synopsis for ignition model. I am not sure if I'm going to get any more of this brand. I'm not going to rule it out, but when I look at their RX-7 and their NSX, they have painted on turn signals. And that's something that a $20 Inno64 would not have. A $20 Inno64 would have plastic turn signals and foil mirrors and color on the interior. Alright, so I'm rambling on. I'm just getting into, I guess I'm just really angry at myself sometimes for buying these things. It's still an awesome model. I mean, look at it. Compared to those other two Supras, this is the best Supra out there. There's just no way an auto world is gonna touch this, right? But this thing costs magnitudes, exponentially more than any of these other brands, so it should be the best. All right. Well, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get any other JZA80 Supras because this is probably the best one, right? Okay, I guess I'll see you around. Thank you.